The RedRock 4-inch Drop TC1 running boards are a great fit for your 2020 and newer JT Gladiator if you want rugged good looks, solid construction, and value for money. Featuring large welded step pads and beefy main bars, these give you everything you want and need out of a pair of side steps for about the best price in the segment. And we talk about side steps and running boards a lot around here, but that's because they're such a universal modification. Whether you're taking your JT off-roading or not, there's still a strong use case for the TC1s that we have here. And the biggest selling point of any step is the access that it can provide. These have 2 drop steps on either side underneath each door, with 4.1-inch wide steps and integrated grips to make getting in and out of the cabin or accessing the roof of your JT all that much easier. These drop down about 4 inches as well, hence their name, so even if your rig is lifted or you're on the shorter side like I am, you're going to have plenty of access to whatever you need to get to. The steps are also fully welded to the main bars for strength, and those main bars do tuck up pretty close to the rockers of your truck. So even if you are off-roading and encountering some larger obstacles, these are going to give you plenty of protection, and you won't risk messing up your rocker panels quite as much as you might think. Manufactured from heavy-duty steel, these things, well, they can take a beating. The material is also finished off in this textured black powder coat for good looks and some additional protection against rust and corrosion. The steps, again, are welded in place for strength, so each bar is one solid piece. And they're actually surprisingly light given their material. The brackets are all made from the same steel and finished in the same coating too, meaning that everything will match and be well protected against the elements. Pricing might just be the best part though, as the whole kit here will run you about $300, making these one of the most affordable steps on the market for the JT. And with the solid construction and big step pads, you're getting a really solid setup for your money. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now these are going to be a totally bolt-on install, and they come with all the brackets and hardware you need, so you don't need to modify anything permanently on your Jeep, and all you need to provide are your hands and some tools. We're going to walk you through the install process step by step right now, so with that, let's head on out to the shop.
For this install, you will need an impact or a ratchet, an adapter if necessary, 10, 13, and 16 millimeter sockets, 10 and 16 millimeter wrenches, and a 13 millimeter ratchet wrench. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing some side steps on our Gladiator, so let's get started. Alrighty guys, so we're starting things off underneath our truck, and we're going to come to the inside of our rocker panels. There you will find some threaded holes along with the pre-drilled holes on your pinch welds. Now we're going to be installing 3 main brackets. These are labeled each one with a designation of their position, so we're at the front center bracket mounting point. So we're going to grab the DC, that's driver's center. We're going to line this up with our main mounting point and our 13 millimeter bolt along with a lock washer and flat washer. We're going to get that into the threaded hole on our chassis. I'm just going to run this up hand tight for now, so you can hold that in place. And then we're going to install the other 2 brackets. Now we've got a driver's front, and then we're going to go all the way to the rear for our rear bracket. We're going to skip this rear middle one. Next we'll get our support brackets onto the back side of our pinch weld and our main bracket. Now once again, just like our main bracket, these are embossed with their location. So once again, we've got driver's center. Slide this in so that our 2 mounting holes line up with the pre-drilled holes and our hole for our main bracket. And our first piece is our through bolt from our support bracket to our main bracket. Once we have that on, we can grab our flat washer and lock nut for that. Doing this first kind of helps keep this up and out of the way. Once we have that on, we'll grab our provided through bolts for our pinch weld and flat washers. We'll get one through. We'll grab another flat washer. And once we have our flat washer on, we'll install our provided lock nut. And we'll do the same thing for our other pinch weld hole. Okay, once again, we're going to leave all these loose for now because we want to be able to adjust as needed. We'll do the same thing for the other 2 brackets. Now we'll set our step in place on our brackets. These are very light, and they do have threaded inserts already installed on them. So we're just going to line it up with our brackets. And we'll get our provided combo bolts into our threaded inserts. You can start with the bottom ones and get them all the way hand tight. That's going to hold this in place quite nicely. Now once you get all of your bottom ones in, you can come in and get your backside ones on. Now these are admittedly a little bit tight quarters. There is enough room to get them on. Run those in hand tight, as far as you can get them. Then you can do the same thing for your other two brackets. So now we can begin tightening everything down. Now the first thing we want to do is tighten down this upper combo bolt for our step with our 13mm ratchet wrench. That's going to draw it in really good. Once we get that one tight, come in with our 13mm socket, tighten down these bottom ones. Now once you have those tight on all three brackets, you want to make your adjustments because now everything's going to move in unison. And once you're happy with where it's sitting, we'll tighten down these main mounting bolts to our chassis with our 13mm socket. Now we can tighten down our support brackets to our pinch weld. We'll make sure these are centered. We'll grab our 10mm socket and 10mm wrench. Begin tightening these down. Once you get one close, you can kind of manipulate this to get centered. You want it to be pressed up against your main bracket. We'll do the same thing for the other bolt. Next, we can tighten down our through bolt from our support bracket to our main bracket. We've got a 16mm wrench and a 16mm socket on our impact. And once you have this one all tightened down, you can do the same thing for your other two brackets. Now, once you've got this side installed, you can repeat the same process for the other side. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our RedRock 4-inch Drop TC1 running boards and textured black finish for your 20 to current Jeep Gladiator JT. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Gladiator, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.